Good evening. My name is McLoughlin. I'm a clinical specialist occupational therapist and a third-year PhD student with my supervisor, Professor Katie Robinson. And this evening I'm going to talk to you about my work trying to improve outcomes and research for older adults in the emergency department. Slide, please. What if I told you that a large proportion of medical research never reaches patients? Not because it's poorly conducted or that it's wrong, but it can't be used. Every year, thousands of research studies are published and millions of euro are invested in clinical trials. So we would expect that research is accelerated. But in reality, it can take up to 10 years for research to be taking part in day-to-day clinical practice. So what's going wrong? One problem is really simple. Researchers don't always measure the same things. In my area, older adults in the emergency department, some studies will look at how long they spent in the emergency department, whether they got admitted, their independence level. All of these outcomes are extremely important, but we can't compare them or combine them and transfer that into meaningful outcomes. So what can we do? So this is where my research comes in. At the moment, you can see there's lots of different outcomes out there, and that's a problem. So my PhD, CREAT-ED, the development of a core outcome set for research with older adults in the emergency department, aims to address this. Simply put, it's creating a shared set of outcomes that every study should use, creating a common language for researchers, and it allows us to then combine and compare studies and actually use them. How do we do this? So we use best practice international guidelines, and we look at what's already out there. We map the problem. 103 studies were looked at, and 217 outcomes were found. We then looked at qualitative studies, looking at what matters to older adults when they come to the emergency department, and we ran focus groups with them, their families, ED workers, and researchers. But what did this do? It added more chaos, because there is lots of outcomes, hundreds of them. So we needed to prioritise. How did we do this? In number 2, we ran a Delphi study with international participation where people voted on what mattered. And next month, our final step, we'll be running a consensus meeting where we bring together those voices to decide what are the key outcomes to include in this core outcome set. If it all goes well, we aim to get to number 4, where researchers are actually using our core outcome set with the aim to reduce research waste, to improve the standard of outcomes out there. This work isn't about creating more research, but improving research and ultimately improving outcomes for our older adults when they come to the emergency department, because unfortunately, most of us will have some loved one that is in contact within the emergency department. Thank you.